Hello friends, this is Jasu Bakuhatsu, and welcome to the Bakulog. This is the series in which I pick out a game at random from my extensive backlog of games that I own and haven't played yet, and then just check that game out, see what it's all about, whether it's worth playing, whether I like it or not, and share my thoughts and impressions of the game with you, the viewers. Today's game is going to be Risk of Rain, developed by Hapu Games and released sometime within the last year or two, I think. So, yeah, this is sort of, I guess, what some people these days are calling like a roguelite or like an action roguelite. It's basically in kind of the same subgenre as Binding of Isaac, where it's basically like an action game with randomly generated levels and permadeath. And yeah, you just go through killing guys, getting random item drops, and generally just getting yourself kitted out as you go out and slaughter hundreds and hundreds of monsters. If you're good, at least. I've never actually had a run where I managed to slaughter more than a couple dozen or so. So as you can see, we've actually got a class system here, which I'm sure is all nice and everything, but to start off you only have the commando to choose from, so I really dislike how they tease you with this. It's like, are these all playable? Like these, we've got like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got like 11 or 12 classes here to choose from, and yet they only give you the one to start off with. Oh well. It's been fun so far. So I'm not going into this completely blind. I've done a couple just sort of test runs of this game just to get my controls in order and my recording set up and all that. But other than that, I really haven't seen too much of this game just yet. So yeah, it basically plays kind of like your standard 2D shooter, kind of like in the whole Contra Metal Slug vein, except, or I guess don't have the multi-directional shooting. You can only shoot left and right, but to make up for that, you've got a bunch of skills here, which kind of gives a bit more of that sort of RPG flavor to it. Sort of like Diablo, really, if you think about it. You've got like your primary attack, where I've just got this little just double shot gun here, and then I've got a piercing shot that shoots through a bunch of enemies in a straight line. I've got this dodge roll. And we found the exit already. So the whole point of the game is basically you just search through each of the randomly generated levels, killing enemies, picking up items and gold and stuff, and you're looking for this teleporter. So you find the teleporter, you activate it, and then you stay alive. So basically what happens now is I've called down the fury upon myself by activating that thing. So yeah, we've got the boss coming after me, and then there's also going to be a ton of monsters spawning all over the place now that I've hit that. So yeah, things are going to get a bit hectic pretty quickly as a result of this. And it was kind of dumb of me to trigger that right away. So what you can do is, before going right headlong into a boss fight without any sort of consideration for whether you're ready for it or not, what you can do is you can go like through the level, fighting enemies, gaining gold, and gaining items to power yourself up before fighting the boss and everything. But I'm kind of an idiot, and I just sort of activated this without thinking about it. Thankfully, this jellyfish guy, this is actually a new boss. I haven't seen this one before, so apparently there is some randomization to the bosses here. Last time I got like this giant golem thing that was actually super easy. I got him like stuck on the terrain and he couldn't touch me. Oh wow, okay, yeah, there's enemies all over. All up in my shit now, but oh wow, and I'm doing hardly any damage to this vagrant. Yeah, this was not a smart idea. And anyways, and we've also got this fourth skill, which is basically just a little sort of rapid-fire burst of machine gun fire, which knocks back the enemies just a little bit. Is that guy actually damaging me when he touches me? It looks like I'm not taking damage from just contacting the boss, but it's hard to tell. So one thing that you'll probably notice right off the bat is the graphics in this game are not terribly impressive. Honestly, I mean, I don't think you could even call this retro at this point. Like, no no old game looked quite... I mean, yeah, old game really looked quite this simplistic, really. It's like, this is like sub-NES quality graphics, which is honestly what kind of put me off from the game for a long time. Like, I know this is a relatively popular game. A lot of people like this, but I was kind of hesitant to get into it, and I'm gonna die right here on the first level. I was kind of hesitant to pick it up for a long time, especially given the price point. I thought the game was actually a bit... Oh man, I did die. Wow, that is pathetic. That kind of was my fault in a lot of different ways. So, okay. But, yeah, of course, eventually I got the game on sale. And, yeah, it was like $2 or something eventually, or some ridiculous price. So, yeah, here I am playing Risk of Rain, despite, I guess, my sort of skepticism about the game, I guess you might say. And I gotta say, I'm really not warmed up to the aesthetics at all so far playing through this. This is kind of a not very good looking game, but I'm really I've been really enjoying the mechanics so far. It's like your basic controls. It's, you know, your basic, like I said, Metal Slug style shoot 'em up. But you've also got these sort of RPG style, sort of Diablo-esque abilities that are tied to your class, which are pretty cool. And again, it would be nice to have a few more classes to choose from right off the bat, but, you know, I still suck at this one, so I guess maybe the others are too advanced for me at the moment. I'll have to prove myself worthy of more advanced classes at some point. Although I'm not... there's a big list, like, I guess I might show it after this inevitable failure. On the menu, there's a big list of sort of requirements for various unlockables, which I'll check out on the... I guess after this failure. But apart from sort of, yeah, the basic controls, the moves, the, you know, physics and all that, all completely solid. Better than you would kind of expect from a game, you know, that looks like this. Like, honestly, especially sort of going through this series, or going through my backlog, I've picked up a lot of games for over a long period of time, where it's just stuff that I got like in humble bundles or like ridiculous Steam sales for like $2 or less, and you know, a lot of them very sharing this kind of minimalist graphical style. But the thing is, most of those games I've played have sucked. Like, in principle, I'm not really opposed to it. It's like, okay, if you're, you know, a starting game designer, and as I understand, this is like a small not exactly a student project. I think the guys who made this game are students, but this was like not part of like a school project. This is like, you know, a professionally made product, I guess you might say, or made for commercial, like, yeah, made from the mass market, I guess you could say. They intended to sell this thing from the beginning. But what was I getting at? Oh yeah. Anyways, in general, I find that I know they say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover and all that, but in general, I found that there's, among these indie games, there's usually a pretty strong correlation between the quality of the graphics and where the hell is this teleporter? Last one I just found like nothing right off the bat, and now I just can't seem to find the damn thing. Is there fall damage in this game? It seems like yes. So the reason I'm kind of ignoring all these enemies and rushing to the exit is one of the other mechanics in this game is you see I've got that sort of difficulty bar in the top left, and basically what happens there is the game gets basically it's kind of a timer. The longer you dawdle around in the levels, the more difficult the game gets. Basically, your little bar fills up on the left, and once it reaches certain points, the difficulty increases, which means you get more enemies spawning and more difficult enemies and all that. So yeah, basically, the faster you find the exit, I think down there is the one section that I haven't checked yet. So, I commented before, is there fall damage in this game? And yes, I found out there is, but... Delayed heal after being hit. Okay, so that's just, like, effectively flat damage reduction from anything that doesn't kill me. That's actually pretty nice. Or at least, oh, damn. So yeah, like I said, the basic mechanics, the controls and stuff, physics, all completely solid. But what I've been really digging on this game so far is I've been really liking. Can he actually hit me from back there? Okay, looks like he wasn't hitting me until then. Okay, well, it looks like the difficulty is going up now, because, yeah, those big, these red guys with the larger health bars, those are, like, elite versions of the basic enemies, which they're supposed to be lizard men, apparently. I really can't tell just by looking at these tiny sprites, but, like, in the menu, I guess I'll show you guys later, there's, like, some concept art of, like, the enemies and stuff that you can check out. So, yeah, all these dudes running along the ground at me are apparently supposed to be lizard men, so that's something. But anyways, yeah, and the red ones are kind of tougher versions of the basic lizard man enemies. Okay. But yeah, I've been really digging a lot of creative ideas for a lot of the items I've been seeing so far, which is good. Okay, come on, I just want to kill these guys. And yeah, get over to some items, and ooh, I haven't seen this one. Crowbar, deal bonus damage to healthy monsters. Okay, so I don't know what healthy means. Some of the item descriptions are kind of vague. I actually don't know. Like, I've picked up items before and not known what they do, just because this description was like when they say healthy monsters, does that mean like full health, or just be up above a certain health threshold? And also, even more annoying, you get some of these shops and it's like, so yeah, this is basically a shop right here. I can buy only one of these 3 items, and then the other 2 will disappear. But the thing is, as far as I can tell, there's no way for me to tell which item does what until you pick it up. Like, sometimes there'll be a question mark, and oh wait, I totally felt that. There we go. Thought I hit the teleporter already, but and yeah, you can see we've moved up from easy. Okay, this is the guy I fought my first time through. This guy's a chump. Like, he's not going to be able to get over that little... Oh, he is. Okay, but I don't think he'll be able to get up this little step here. And oh, that's a usable item I found. I did not catch what it does, so let's just use it. Oh, that is badass! Nice! And see, just like that there's a lot of, like, really cool stuff that you can find in this game. Which is, you know, a lot of the appeal that I understand a lot of people get from Binding of Isaac. It's like it's really that kind of game where you just, like, yeah, go through and see what kind of ridiculous setup you can get from whatever items you can find. Only, yeah, basically the problem I had with Binding of Isaac was that, like, the fundamentals weren't really solid. It was just like a really, like, essentially like an incredibly simplistic version of, like, Smash TV or something. It's like just a top-down shooter, essentially, where you can only shoot in 4 directions, and you really don't have any other weapons other than some really simple, like, projectiles, and that's basically it. And the occasional, like, lay something on the ground, and that's basically the only things you can, like, okay, sometimes you get lasers and whatever. Basically in Binding of Isaac, at least back when I played it, to be fair, there's been a couple expansions to the game, or an expansion and a remake to the game since I played it. I didn't pick up either because I wasn't too gung-ho on the game, but basically what I'm trying to get at is that the combat in Binding of Isaac was really boring, and yeah, the monsters were all really dull too. They basically just shot stuff straight at you. That was just basically everything in Binding of Isaac. Just shoot shit straight ahead most of the time, and that's all there is to it. Really dull, and wasn't a big fan of that game. This game, on the other hand, a lot more. Okay, looks like I can't shoot through walls there. Thought I might be able to. A lot more. I've been seeing a lot more interesting stuff as far as the weapons go, and the abilities and such. In fact, one thing that I'm frustrated by is this is like, what, the 3rd or 4th time I've played through with this commando guy now, and I really want to check out the other classes, but I haven't unlocked them yet. Whereas again, I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons to Binding of Isaac here, just because that's kind of it. Even though they're kind of different genres, kind of like this is like a side-scrolling, like basically a run and gun. Essentially, this game is, whereas Binding of Isaac was like a top-down shoot 'em up, essentially. So I guess you could say that they're kind of related, but they also share this kind of roguelike trappings, where you've got the randomly generated levels and the random enemies. and the random items you get that kind of kit out your character and make him a bit unique from run to run. And of course you've got permadeath and all that. And oh yeah, herpaderp. Okay, so this is another thing. When you beat the level, you actually lose all of your money. So yeah, your money does not carry over from level to level. So that's another thing. And again, that kind of ties into the timer mechanic. I kind of want to leave this level right now, but the reason I'm not is because I want to power up for the next level. I want to go out, I want to go around, and I want to find all of the shops and all of the item crates and stuff so I can power up my character before going to the next level, which is as far as I've made it. I have not yet beaten level 2 of this game. From what I understand, I think there's like 5 or 6 levels, I think, in this game. Oh, I just thought of something. I really hope that I don't have to beat the game to unlock each new class. Oh, speaking of which, that was a thing I got sidetracked on earlier. The classes in The Binding of Isaac, really boring in general. I didn't think there was very much at all to differentiate them. There were a couple, like, fairly unique ones, but in general it was just like, oh, this is like one with an extra heart and a usable item to start off with that heals you, and this one has this item that only triggers when you're down to 1 heart. And it's like, okay, but in general, the basic, it doesn't really change, like, they didn't have, like, really different skills. They had, like, maybe a usable item that you could get with any of the other characters anyways, and it would only trigger, like, maybe once or twice on every floor. Whereas in this game, I really can't comment on the class differentiation because I haven't seen any of the other classes yet. But I see the potential. Like, if every class has, like, a completely different set of skills and everything, that would be, like, really cool. That would be, like, every class could play completely different. And actually, I guess I must say, I'm not going into this completely blind in that I've seen this game played before. I've seen dude that I follow on YouTube, Brick Road did a LP of this game, actually, which I watched the first episode, but I didn't watch any more because I didn't want to really spoil the game for myself because I owned it. I had picked it up at that point and I didn't really want to spoil it for myself. I wanted to kind of come in fresh and see everything. And why are you not? There we go. You got that rusty blade. And oh, you can see where... Oh, Jing, what is this? Come on, get him. 3 out of 5. Where's the other 2? Oh, there you are. Get him. There we go. Oh, cool, and I got a log. Oh no, there's 2 out of 5 alive. Ha, 5 alive. Where? I don't see him. Yeah, you can see we're like halfway through medium now, so this is kind of maybe a bad idea, but I didn't really have a lot of items. So I really want... And I don't know if this is a good idea or not to be trekking through the whole level looking for items. I just knew that I didn't have much to work with yet, so I wanted to go through, power up a bit. I guess we'll find out. We're going to be probably on, like, I don't know what's after medium. I've never actually survived long enough. Mind you, this is the first time I've, like, gone through a level. Gone through, like, a whole level looking for item crates and stuff. But anyways, it's kind of a neat trade-off, though. It's like you can go back through the level looking for upgrades and items and all that, spend all your money, but there's a bit of a trade-off. You, oh, a lucky devil. Oh, that's cool. Oh, this is a permanent upgrade, too. That is pretty sweet. Hopefully. I haven't seen how much damage it does yet, but, you know, it's sweet looking. I don't know what these little green things around me are either. Presumably that's something to do with an item I've picked up. And yep, we're almost through with medium difficulty. Man, 13 minutes in the first level. That's kind of... Okay, let's pick up the pace, Jasu. At least we're alive, and look reasonably kitted out. This is more items than I've ever had before. Hopefully enough to make up for the fact that we're on medium difficulty. And yeah, there you can see... Oh, it converts my gold to experience, though, so... And there's my mouse cursor that's been sitting there. Or actually... Oh, wow, there's no way to get rid of my mouse cursor here. I move it out the window, and it just stays. Whatever. It'll be up in the sky, where I don't have to worry about it. Hello? Okay, so we're on medium difficulty. Okay, these guys are new. Haven't seen this before. That's kind of neat. Seem to be able to take a fair bit of damage. Oh, wow, 43-second cooldown on that item. Probably 45. That's... Okay. Well, should probably be a little more careful about using that in the future. Oh, hey, there's the exit. Cool. That'll make up for my slow. Yeah, my very, very slow completion of the previous level. Hopefully. Like I said, I have not yet beaten level 2 yet, so I could end up getting my ass kicked. Anyways, who's to say? Oh, okay. That guy has some range. Oh, whoa, wow! I got some kick on my weapon now. I don't know what did that. Oh yeah, look at that. Yes, or no, they're just slow on their own. I thought I was slowing them down or something, and I'm getting beat on by something. Sometimes the enemies teleport right on top of you, and it's like kind of difficult to tell that they're there because everything is so tiny. And you know what? Let's just activate that thing. Ancient